I do want to come back to Nigeria and put what I've learned to good use. Yeah.
Yeah, not many people say this, why are you particular about coming back to Nigeria to help?
Because the grass is greener where you water it.
I need.
The following is a conversation with the former student government president of the American University of Nigeria, Halima Mohammed. Halima was the last SG president here, and during her stay here, she did lots of interesting events, which I really did enjoy. Recently, Halima and I conversed about her current doings after her graduation. She currently works with the Yar'Adua Foundation, and the Yar'Adua Foundation helps to shed light on things that are currently affecting the society of today, like gender equality, climate change, and then all that has to do with the future of Nigeria. This conversation was recorded about a month ago, and we went extensively into her current doings now, her NYSC journey, and all that she's doing. I hope you enjoyed this conversation.
Today I'm having Halima. Halima was the former president of the state government. She's no longer the president again.
Wow. Thanks, past glory.
That's very good. And Halima graduated as the best graduate student. Halima was just saying awards. Halima Mohammed!
The overall best graduating student in the school award goes to Halima Mohammed. Thank you.
How do you feel on graduation day?
Well, it was a very surreal moment because 4 years of your life, and that was the culmination of it. I didn't expect to actually have that many awards. I was just hoping I'll be like the best in ICT, but I didn't think I'd be best in arts and science, and then get the leadway award as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next category of the awards are the Leadway Assurance Awards for the best female graduating students. For the presentation of these awards to recipients, I humbly request the chair of the AUN board and GC, Senator Ben Obi, to join our dear president on the stage. May I also request the representative of the Leadway Assurance Company, Philip Adelami, and Musta Samaila Maikiao of the Samak and Associates also to be on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leadway Assurance Award for the best female graduating student for the School of Art and Sciences is Halima A. Mohammed. So that was a very pleasant surprise. Cherry on my entire undergrad.
When your parents were there, you felt like entering the ground, man. You felt like entering the ground, like your parents said, oh, daughter.
So it's a lot because there was a lot of people, and then I was sitting way back, and I felt like the walk was just so long. I felt like people were waiting for me.
When you're walking with all the accolades, and there's a grace, you walk differently, like this is 4 years of my hustle.
Yeah.
Now everything ends on this day. I think you got best graduate students. What award did you get?
Best in ICP.
Wow.
Best in arts and science. Best female in arts and science.
Wow. Are you for real?
I'm for
How
real.
did you get all this?
By God, though. Just by God.
But I didn't wait. You always write because I never ever saw you like on the library or anything reading or. So how did you?
Are you calling me on serious?
No. I don't never saw you reading.
Yeah.
You later me Salima when she's going for HJ meeting and all those things.
Do you understand? Oh yeah, I think to some extent I put my extracurriculars ahead of my academics a lot, but I always did find time. I don't read in the library. I read in my room. I like to do everything on my bed. So all my assignments, everything on my bed. Yeah, a lot of people say they can't. They just fall like.
Like you sit down on your bed or you lie on your bed.
I sit or I lie, whatever.
You don't have a
It's
table
always.
in your room.
I even give my chair away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't try that. I'll sleep off.
To each his own.
Well, I don't know. I've tried it before. I never won because Or then you know when you're in your bed, you're in this comfortable position, and
Yeah.
then you don't want to just text somebody. You just want to do things that make you more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm saying. I have discipline.
We all do. I do too. But then I feel like bed. My dad always told us that when we want to read our books, we should go to the table. That's it.
Yeah.
Didn't your parents tell you that when you're younger? Were you?
I never really had a desk in my room.
Hmm.
So if I wanted to do my assignment, maybe I'll come to the dining table, but it was never something I grew up with.
Were you always a star student when you were younger? Were you banging on your screen? Like FFF?
Well, should I toot my own horn? Should I do it?
Well, let's go ahead. What was like in primary school, secondary school?
Fourth best in my primary school.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was best in arts in my secondary school. I went to scholarship to go to Nile actually.
Wow. So why did you?
I preferred AUN.
So AUN, you paid money. Now you have scholarship. The maths is not mattering.
No, but then I don't regret coming to AUN at all.
Wait, first of all, you told me earlier that you came here because your sisters were.
Well,
all
then,
AUN.
yes.
So, but wait, why did you deflect that? Like, how many people get such an opportunity?
Not a lot, and yeah, I recognize the privilege, of course, but when I just don't want to go to now. Let me not sugarcoat it. It's not like I connected with the vision of AUN. I just don't want to go.
No, but like during what's that stuff? Orientation, good. Like when your sisters were there, you go pick them up, all those things.
Yeah.
And so you saw what AUN was like.
I saw.
You never saw
never
what.
heard a bad thing about AUN.
What bad thing do you hear about now?
About now, you just hear that because people say that style is basically an extension of NTIC. I came from NTIC.
What's NTIC?
Nigerian Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
So they just say, no, now it's SS4. You get. So I needed to reset. I needed change of environment.
So that's why you easily got a scholarship because you're doing well in the secondary school. So
yeah, I did well in the secondary school.
So you were the second best graduate student or the first? How did you do the
Best in
scholarship?
arts. So best in arts, best in science. There's boys' school, girls' school, and then there's co-ed. I was in co-ed. So best in arts, boys. Best in arts, girls. Best in arts, co-ed. Then best in science, boys. Best in science, girls, and best in science, co-ed.
Okay. So what was your in secondary school, high secondary school? Were you an art student in science?
Art student.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you started banging in maths and.
Yeah. But I was not bad in math. It was not my favorite subject.
What do you mean it was not your first subject? Like, what were you getting in industry?
What was I getting?
Industry. Like, what was your average in maths?
I never had a bad math score. In fact, like I feel like I was acing my math, but I just didn't enjoy it. Like it wasn't my favorite thing to do.
Well, for me, I was always doing well at maths till my industry.
Mm.
My teacher made it feel like I was asking too much questions. He told my children stop asking questions like that, and that was when I lost my math degree. And since then, it has always been a.
So you also did that?
No, I pushed through.
Wow.
I pushed through. But then I think I once failed maths. No, it was maths I failed. I don't know. Was it maths? I think it was maths. So my dad went to the principal in the school and said, my son is not ready for I wanted to repeat this class.
Which
because
class?
I failed. It was SS1 because I failed maths.
Just maths.
Yeah, I was in maths and physics. I think but he was very particular about maths. But if my son continues at this rate, he's going to fail the Well, the principal told me I should start begging my dad. And joke, I'm going to go to my junior's classes.
Yeah.
According to school, there was no room for me to repeat because I was doing very well academically. Like my average was about 70. So you average.
There's no room for you
But then my dad said that my son has to repeat. The principal said, okay, sir, just write down, you pay the school fees, you bring the receipt, and inside that receipt, you should have the data of repetition.
Yeah.
Well, joke, they submitted it.
So you did repeat?
I actually did repeat.
Wow.
I felt it was a waste of time and money. But then some teachers were praising my dad. Like, no, man, he's a strong man.
True.
I mean,
no, but then not many people would do that.
Yeah, but then I felt like it was a waste of money, a waste of time.
So did you not eventually pass the mark? Did you finish
again. I still failed it again. I didn't improve. I still even know worse. The previous goal was better.
How would you give your dad the results now?
I think at some point, mom was just hoping on God. He was trying everything humanly Possible.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So that experience, that's why now like I would never ever let anyone make me feel like I'm asking too much questions. I'm talking. That's why it became how I'm doing my things. That experience was it was an eye opener. So, well, Halima, they graduated about 6 or 7 months ago. How many months ago now?
April, no, May, right? June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months.
Wow, 8 months. Time flies. That was almost a year now. And she was a star student. That's why we're having a special on her.
Mohammed Halima Abubakar, Bachelor of Arts, International and Comparative Politics with University Honors, concentration in peace and conflict resolutions. Also, cum laude.
So, I'd like to know what you're doing now with your life and what you're experience and then until now. Till now.
Okay, so after A1, I went on a bit of a soul searching journey because once you live such a huge part of your life, I think you have no choice but to struggle. I really struggled, like thinking, oh wow, what's next? Because you had such a strong purpose in life, and then suddenly you don't have anything again.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Oh.
Because that I didn't know if I wanted to do NYSC first or masters first, so I was in a bit of a limbo, I would say. But eventually, I decided to do NYSC. So I started in July. I did camp. I didn't do camp, but I did camp.
What does that mean?
I did stay.
So how long? 1 day, 2 days, 1 week?
1 day. I was sick actually. Not.
Was it the camp that made you sick or?
No, I was sick. We all, like all my family members, we had this infection or something. Maybe it was COVID. I don't know, but we were all sick. So I was just recovering from that. So I had a cannula in my hand. So
You were taking drip?
yeah. So I went to the camp. I presented my medical report and everything, and they let me go.
It's happy. You didn't go through before you chose NYSC. You see, you wanted to between NYSC and masters.
Yeah.
So why did NYSC trump masters?
First of all, precedence. All of my sisters did NYSC first before they did masters. And
The last girl?
No, I have a younger sister, so there's 4 of me, and they all did NYSC.
Wait, you have 5 sisters. How many brothers do you have?
No.
Oh. Oh.
Don't sound so sad.
Oh.
Hide your sadness.
okay.
Yeah. So precedence, and then where I wanted my first choice, I applied for a scholarship. I didn't get it. So
Scholarship in what university?
Cambridge.
Oh, hey, who you didn't get? Who you? No. I didn't try to
I
send
think when I applied, I didn't have my degree yet, and I think someone told me that plays a role. Like if you haven't graduated yet, you don't really. Well, that's what I heard, but I didn't get it. So, and then I applied to Bristol as well.
UK.
Yeah, and then Bristol said my accreditation something was not up to their standard. I said,
What does that mean?
basically like a degree from AUN, they don't recognize it. I think something like that. That was what the email was suggesting.
But
I'm not
have
sure.
you received your certificate that time, like as a graduate?
No. I hadn't graduated when I applied.
Well, maybe that's why, because you and
So yeah, most of the decisions I applied before I graduated. So I was just telling them I intend to graduate with this. There's no evidence that So after all that fiasco, I decided to do NYSC. So I'm with the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Foundation in Abuja, and I do climate advocacy and gender justice.
Shehu Musa, who is that?
He's the late brother of our late president, Umar Musa.
Oh, you have not heard the name Shehu before.
Yeah.
So, what was his vision for starting the foundation?
Oh, he didn't start the foundation actually. It was his friends and family and close people around him that started the foundation in his honor, to honor his life, his legacy, his service.
Oh, the man is late.
Yeah.
Is he older than Yar'Adua or younger? What the president is?
That's a good question.
Is he older?
Older? Maybe he's older. I think he's older.
No, so he died first or his brother?
Yeah.
Very
young actually.
The main reason why you didn't do your NYSC, you didn't do the master's because you didn't get admission to the desired schools.
Yeah.
So it was just of it, and then like okay, let's go for NYSC and see what
Yeah.
goes. Oh, but so far, are you enjoying your experience
Yes, I am. I'm learning a lot. The foundation is really, they give me responsibility, and apart from that, there's good exposure. So from my NYSC, I've been able to, there's this school, ISA, American International School. They wanted somebody from the foundation to give a keynote address at their Model UN conference, and they picked me, you know.
If you don't pick, you don't to pick.
No, no, so like, I'm just a copper there.
Yeah, but
They give it to
no,
me.
your this thing, your accolade.
Yeah, well, our director said he thought that would be a perfect something for me, yeah, so he gave it to me, and that was really cool. And then one of my bosses, she sent this application to me for a legislative mentorship initiative by Chief of Staff, Right Honourable Members, and she said, "Oh, the youngsters in our office should apply." So I applied and I got it. So there was like 5,000 applications and they picked 45, and I was one of them. Yeah. Clap for me now. Yeah. It was really. We started in December. It was just 3 weeks. Really fun. We interacted with seasoned professionals, ministers, senators, House of Rep members, even the vice president.
Interacting on what?
They would give them like a topic and ask them to mentor us on it 3 years. So we were mentored by professionals.
So what did the vice president do? I think I saw a picture on Instagram with what's his name?
He was basically talking about
Shesima.
he was talking about that was not actually in the program that they gave us. So it was kind of like a surprise, yeah. So he talked to us about he mentioned how in a couple of years Nigeria would be the third most populous country in the world. So how we have to transition towards that, basically talking about all Nigerians have a role to play in Nigeria's progress, So he basically was advising us. Yeah.
Your experiences in the state government, like, how do you feel all that being the president and all that now has shaped your career progress?
I think that being in that position made me a whole lot more of a fighter, I would say. It kind of made me I don't want to say bold, but like bold. It kind of made me bold because sometimes you may be in a room and you feel like, oh, I should probably keep my voice down. I'm not up to, but then I can enter a room and then I can hold my own. I think that's one of the biggest things that holding that role has done for me. Yeah. Because people struggle with imposter syndrome. I struggle with it a lot. So when I look back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I was able to do this, so maybe I'm not an imposter after all. So
yeah. How do you feel when some people like, how did you with critics when people are like, Halima is not meant to be the president, how did she get here? How do you?
Funny enough, I never actually had. Well, I'm not aware. You people may know, but nobody came to me and said, "I don't think it's on this," And I never actually heard specific people saying that, "Oh, she didn't deserve to win it." I never heard that.
Okay, well, let's continue.
So, even students made me feel like an imposter.
The next election was between Safiyya and Talford, and I had on my podcast. Who did you want to win the election?
Safiyya was my vice, right?
Yeah.
So inherently it will appear that there's already a bias, right? But what people I think did not understand was that on the electoral board or something committee, it was meant to be the president, the vice president, and the Senate speaker on the board. It just so happened that it was the two of them that were running. So it's not like me being there was immoral or something. It was just that they were the two people running, so they couldn't be on. They were not sure they meant to be there. So me being there was not that I was enforcing myself into the thing. It's in the constitution. Yeah.
Come again, you say the president and the Senate speaker has to be.
There was a committee now that's like oversees the election and so people were saying that I shouldn't have been on there. I should have been on there and they should have to Safiyya and Talford, but unfortunately they were running. There were the two people running, so they couldn't.
So who replaced them?
Other students. Normally there are students on the committee. I think one from each school, arts and science, SITC and all.
Well, who were you rooting for in your heart?
In my heart, of course, I was rooting for Safiyya, but I had to be neutral. I had to appear neutral, yes.
So you were very, very heartbroken when you saw the result when they came out.
I was not heartbroken because it's elections. It can go either way anyway. But I called her and I spoke to her and she took it like a champ, and she even ran for HS president and she got it right. So she's a fighter.
That's Safiyya. I asked her because I think 2 or 3 days before the election, I interviewed her and Talford, and I was like, Safiyya, how would you feel if you lose the election? Would you say go to class? And she said, absolutely.
I decided to. I came with a 50-50 mentality. This is what I intend to do in the SGA. This is what I want to do. I want to be there because I have a vision and I have plans. But if I don't get to be there, well,
so you still wake up the next morning and you walk to class and move happily.
Absolutely. There are so many other ways to channel. So making an impact in.
Actually, like how do you take loss? Like it was an opportunity to do other things.
Exactly, and she did just that.
She did that. She's the honor site president. Hopefully I'll get to join them. You know that in my first semester, I came in as a champion. So I got on president list my first semester. So I think the former president of the honor site was not working back.
Yes.
Now they sent me an email like, hi, Akachukwu. Your academic performance, the 19 society, you have to write a 1-page blah 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 when you want to join us. And so I sent all that. On the D-Day for the interview, I now came, I wore my nice shirts and my shirts, and I go to the interview. I answered every question they asked me with the story. It was so interactive and interesting, and I shook all their hands while leaving. And probably most likely I've been inducted. About 2 days later, I didn't receive an email. Other students received the email. So I now went and met one of the people that were on the panel, Mimi. It was not pure. Like, hi, Mimi, why didn't I get inducted? Because I was not dressed corporately.
For real?
I was like, wow. I wear corporate every other day.
But on
the day
that
my
day
fellow,
that
was Saturday, so. And then the day my fellow students are interviewing
But
me.
when you came for the interview, did you see other students dressed corporately?
Most of students, girls, they always wear their black now, so.
So you didn't think anything of it?
Nothing. I was looking very good.
Wow, a lesson well learned. I didn't see you. I was in the library as well. I was in a different room.
You were actually
I was also on
interviewing people?
Yeah.
You see, you had interviewing on.
Maybe I would have fought for you. I said, I didn't know.
How I got to AUM, first of all, I was a computer engineering student. And because I lost my base in mathematics, I struggled.
Yeah.
Calculus and program. My dad was telling me, Akachukwu, when you're going to university to study computer engineering, you're not going to press computers, you're going to do maths. And I didn't really register until I got there. And my first semester was Calculus 1, second semester Calculus 2, and the first semester object-oriented programming, and the second semester was C++, so terrible. So when I got in, I was fighting, struggling just because of the fees they're paying. When you think about the fees, no. So I kept trying. I'm like, man, do you want to keep struggling for the next 4 years? And maybe I was struggling that you feel like you're suffering in your soul because you're not interested in that thing. Yeah. But what get motivated whenever I go on YouTube and I see the salary of software engineers in America? You see $140K, $150K. Yeah. Like, at the point, I reached the point like, no, I can't keep suffering like that. Luckily, I started my podcast then, and I told my dad I wanted to get into film. But then I should check for a school. Yeah, so my school was in Georgia, in the country near Ukraine. So my dad was like, okay, I should try and apply for film there. So in Georgia, the official language is Georgian, and they write in symbols. Their E is like this. So basically, you know how you have tests of English as a foreign language stuff. They told me to switch the business to film from my major. They had to write the text of Georgian as a foreign language. And I really feel that. I told them that there's no way I'll write to them, so I'll fix it. Georgian is not like normal English alphabets, no. Yeah. So that was how I now checked for a school in Nigeria, and I saw AUN, and I got AUN. Were you volunteer when I came in?
Oh no. Which year?
I came in 2022, August.
Yeah.
August, September.
Yes, I would have been there early, but not really as a volunteer, but for SGA.
But I think you gave a speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really a volunteer, but on paper, yes. Because
Yeah.
all SGA should be.
Halima's speeches were always touching my soul.
Not necessarily people outside looking, we don't get to see. We get the passion, the commitment, the devotion, the drive, and just all around passion for.
Really?
How did you create those things? Like, you know?
I just sit and I reflect. What do I want to tell these young souls waiting to be groomed into great minds? Yeah?
Oh. You know, she come on stage and be like, when I came here, I wasn't like this. No, speaking to
I told you lies.
No, but well, I like the reflection. Your speeches were always good. What mood were you in when you were trying to, like, okay, let's say they give you a speech, talk to 100 first year students. How do you sit down and how do you process all those?
I just feel, what would I have needed to hear if I was in their shoes? Like, when I came in, what should I have known? You know, what would I have wanted to know? Is the English tough?
No, what would you have wanted to know?
I don't know if I'm expressing myself.
You are.
What should I have known? What would I have wanted to know when I came in as well? So put myself in their shoes and then talk to me as me to me.
But do you feel what you say stick in their head? Or like, when you like, you know, when you prepare a speech, there's so much effort that goes into it. And then by the time you're done writing and crafting this beautiful piece, and then you read it to yourself and you're all smiling, and then you get to
nobody really cares.
Yeah, because one thing I'm not saying anyway, like you'll be giving a speech, people be pressing I just feel like going to have knocked your head.
Yeah. Well, some speeches are memorable, others are not. So I just try to include something, just maybe one or two things that I feel like should stick in people's heads. Even if it's not the entire speech like memorable, just a couple key takeaways.
Now, when you get to the stage and you see the crowd, are you overwhelmed? Do you feel like just entering the ground? Because you just go there and you freestyle the whole thing. What's the whole process like? How do you feel?
There's nerves, of course, but I think you get better. It's probably speaking, like, you get better every time you do it. You know, first few times I was shaking, and not while I was in office, but first presentations in front of for class, yes. My voice, I could feel it. My voice was just doing like this. I was hoping people didn't hear, but they heard, and I was petrified. But you know, you just, as time went on, you keep doing them, get better, and then, you know, either way, even if I wasn't going to be president, I have been groomed for public speaking. Everybody is groomed for public speaking.
And now you're a boss, you don't want to shake at all, you just walk into the stage.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the Yar'Adua Foundation. So you were mentored by the vice president,
Senate Speaker. No, that's not correct. That's what you. I always confused because you know anyone is Senate Speaker, not Senate President. So yeah, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker, a couple of Honourable Members as well, some senators, chairs of committees, the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Who is the president?
Yusuf Tuga.
I don't know who's the
Honourable Yusuf Tuga. And I can't name all of them, but those are the people I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, before we started talking about it, we were talking about what was the dream of Shehu Yar'Adua, right? While he was creating his foundation, you said that it was by his friends and family, and then to honor his legacy. So what was it? What do you guys try to achieve?
Well, good governance, I think, is the major one, because he was a very service-oriented individual. If you look upon his life, come to our center, you will see they have a museum, right? It's just a walkthrough about his life and everything. Have you been?
I've heard about it. I have to go there very soon.
Yeah, you should.
But I'm going back to school on 24th. I don't have much time again. Today is 20th, but
Today's 20th.
21, 22, I have 3 days
But I
left.
really advise you to go. It's really, and if you get a real tour, like, you leave knowing more about your country than you would have going in.
Well, I reached you now, check. The other people that were mentoring you guys, the house of, what other houses? Sorry, what other committees mentored you guys? in the government?
We had people from like all across sectors of government, the executive, legislature, even the judiciary as well. You have like SSAs to the president,
SSA is a special aid, special assistant.
senior special assistants, special advisors, stuff like that. We even went to the NSA as well.
What NSA?
National Security Advisor. Know about it. Yeah.
So, how to build a better Nigeria is too broad. So, what particular angles were they targeting? Were they talking about more?
So we talked about nation building. I think the 3 weeks were divided into 3 topics. So the first one was like nation building. So the second one was basically like the history of Nigeria. That was what we focused on in the first week. Second week was like parliamentary discourse. So the parliament as a parliament as the heart of democracy, and then
Parliament and the heart of democracy. Like in Nigeria, it's called House of Assembly, but and there's one that the senators assemble,
the Senate
and there's
and
one
the House of Reps. So basically, that is the heart of democracy, because if you don't have a parliament, you don't have a democracy. Those are the lawmakers.
So they were telling you guys how to make better laws, or
basically, yes, it is a training on legislation, how to lead, how to represent your people, how to be a leader. So it was not just on like lawmaking always. So we're trained in public speaking as well, trained in
you're really a master in doesn't
trained in representing people, being an empathetic leader. Is that a correct word?
Yeah, but the thing, back to imposter syndrome, these guys that were teaching you people this thing, do you feel that they embody what they're teaching? There's a conflict
one of the shocks I met when I went there, because sometimes we don't actually give our leaders enough credit. One person I would say I was blown away by the wealth of knowledge they had was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf. Because we just see these people like, oh, that's the minister. We don't know what they know. We don't know their experience. But like when you sit with them and you hear them speak, I'm telling you, my jaw was on the ground by the time like he was on with the speech, because he knew a lot. He knew so much, and I feel like nobody could have done the role better justice than him.
Yeah, but if they know a lot and they know this and know, like, why is it that they cannot translate their knowledge to practicality in Nigeria? Because you cannot see everything keeps going down year after year.
I think what I would say is we always look to our leaders, to find the faults. Sometimes we also have a role, not sometimes, all the time. Like citizens have a role to play as well. If you don't change you yourself, how would you expect the country to change? The country is you and you and you and you. So if you don't change, nothing will change.
What did you hear about misappropriation of funds and wasting money? Because this is something that we see that day. You saw the humanitarian minister pocketed some money in her bank account and all these stories. So what's like, because these guys they are teaching you the same. Sometimes they get to the news and we hear that they stole they mismanage public funds, and that's why I brought about the people teaching you this stuff. Do they embody what they are teaching? Like, do they practice this, or they just
I believe they do. I don't think we had a controversial figure come speak to us. Nobody was controversial that was speaking to us.
Well, you're there and you didn't want to say something.
No, it's not even that. I think
do you feel when we are giving you guys a lecture, do you feel these guys are actually an embodiment of what they say, or they just seem to fulfill,
Well, I think, like I said, we're kind of groomed to believe that if you're a politician, then you're corrupt. But I will say that there are a few good eggs in the basket, and I believe people that train us were one of those good eggs.
That's cool to hear. Because guys are how bad the media paints this guy. Genuinely, I feel that if you talk to these guys one on one, you're able to sympathize with them and feel them and see what they go through.
They're just trying their best,
So they're trying their best, but then the people around them are all corrupt and they're suppressing everything they're doing.
It's politics.
But
interest.
Tell me about the interest and the politics. Like, what were they telling you guys about the challenges that they face in executing these beautiful dreams?
So I think something that kept recurring was how expensive elections are.
So before you even get into office, you're already broke because you spent all your money trying to get into office. And then you have like godfathers, people that they feel like, oh, if they put you there, you have to
Dance to the music.
yeah, you have to dance to their tunes. So those are struggles and those are things that I feel like are pulling us back as a democracy. So cost of elections, number one, very high, too high. Number two, godfathers. Yeah, people around you feeling like you owe them. So
But so what do you think could be the solutions of this cost of election and
we reduce the cost of picking up a nomination form, and then Nigerians as well have to reduce their expectations. You know, when someone says they want to pick up, they want to run for something, people say, okay, what have you done for us? What did you do for us? Meanwhile, you don't have money, but they want to see you building roads and building bridges and building schools. You know, so they expect you to do these things, spend your money, do these things, and then you can't expect somebody to go broke and then when they get into office, they will not try to get what they need back what they spend it on. I'm not saying it's ethical, but you don't want to go hungry serving the people. Who wants to go hungry?
you're looking at it like the business people. You're going to public office to serve people. Not your permit, not to.
Of course, but people expect you to spend like you have your fountain is endless. So you spend millions campaigning, and then because you have to spend. If you don't spend, nobody will vote for you.
Yeah, but the bulk of the cash you're spending is not your own.
It's
from sponsors, it's from the godfathers, it's from.
That's the thing. If you want to go without having a godfather, you will spend your money and you will become broke. Because Nigerians, like youth, if I as a youth now want to, I don't have a godfather, I'll spend my money, I'll become broke, I'll get into office, and then what will happen?
You keep leading the people, no? Keep leading the people.
Keep leading people with as a broke person.
What do you mean by broke person?
Because even if
you get allowances,
they don't actually earn as much as we think. That's what they kept telling. Nobody will tell you, oh, this is how much I make, but they say we don't earn as much as we think.
Yeah, the money they don't earn in salary, they earn it in corruption.
Yes, that's the thing. But the money allocated to them, like legally, is not much. And even while you're in office, people still expect you to keep spending. People, when they come, if you're a politician now and I come to see you, I want to leave with something now.
Yeah, the
exactly. So, and you as a youth now, you don't have money, and you're in office. People expect you to keep giving. Of course, you still, you know. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you that we have made the life of legislators and people in politics really difficult in the country. You're looking at me like I'm corrupt.
No, the thing is, these guys, they want to portray themselves that way. That's why the people follow them that way. If you
as
don't,
rich people?
Yeah, if you don't portray yourself as Mr. Cheerful Giver of Christmas, nobody will approach you that way. Because when we were doing Gen 1 or 2, I think in my second semester, Mr. Momo, I think he was Momo. So he told us that lots of the legislators, especially the ones from the north, that when they want to get married, when the youth want to get married, they come and meet them and say, if you do not support that that wedding and the preparations, I do not vote for you.
You see,
again.
They expect you to spend money to get into office. They expect you to spend money while you're in office. Like, where is the money coming from? You know, where would the money come from?
So that's why. Okay, that's where you're coming from. So you say basically why they're telling you to fulfill people's
Most times, but also, of course, there are selfish people out there. But I think we have also made it impossible for people to remain ethical. Because
okay, we'll get back to that. Okay, let me chip in before we continue. So, but these guys, what other topics did it, apart from the cost of elections, what other stumbling block would you say that's making our democracy and our capitalist system and our country not to progress as it should?
There was something the Assistant Inspector General of Police said. She was speaking to us about her journey into the police force, and somebody asked her what would she say about the bad image that the Nigerian police has, like, to the world in general. She said, our police are not coming from India or China. they are Nigerians.
They're from among
So
us.
exactly, it's what you put out that you will see. Which is why I keep circling to the fact that like we ourselves we have to change.
The value system here is very,
Yes.
it's getting weaker and
Yes.
weaker.
So it is what you see is what you get. Like if you are a bad person, you see bad around you.
Okay, you're talking about climate change and everything. So what are you telling you guys about all these? But these topics seem to be like things that they discuss in the West, in the Western world.
Yeah.
How does this affect us?
It's affecting you now.
How?
Climate change, is it not?
How?
You go back to Yola and you see blazing 40 degrees sun. Is that normal?
But the time of the Egyptians, that's how the sun is.
Really? Really? But that's Egypt, this Nigeria. Historically, how has the climate changed? It has changed actually. So we're trying to bring attention to people don't really realize the effects of climate change. So we're trying to, bring that into the limelight.
Okay, so you bring the effect of climate change to limelight to raise consciousness.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then, we lobby, we advocate, and, it's from there. Once you create the awareness, then policies will begin to reflect.
Come again, once you create the awareness, policies will begin to reflect.
Yes, because you can't really make policies on things that people don't feel are important enough. It has to be a topic. We have to understand that it is of importance first. So after we establish that, then the government can see that, okay, this is an issue that is garnering attention. We might want to make policies towards this.
Now, well, in Nigeria, how does climate change affect us? How does an issue here, like economically, how does it affect us? I want to know how it affects the average Nigerian.
Yeah. For the average farmer now, he can't farm the way he used to farm because the seasons are no longer following the patterns they used to follow. So if you plant something that you expect, this season is favorable to, it will just shock you and your crops will die. Things like that. So it's affecting the common man. He can't continue to sustain his livelihood if he can't farm the way he used to farm. So even the most common down to farming, it's affecting. This is being affected by climate change.
Whenever I see this climate change debate and topics, the main thing they are always talking about is fossils.
Yeah.
And here in Nigeria, just in Africa, we don't even have enough cheap energy to use and enrich ourselves and make ourselves wealthier. Then we're talking about reducing these emissions when, first of all, we cannot even get this energy for cheap to. Okay, example, the farmer, he needs a tractor, right, to harvest and till the soil.
Yeah.
Now, you need fuel or diesel to power the tractor.
Yeah.
And these emissions from this fuel and diesel get to climate will change, blah, 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 blah. But if it doesn't do that, we won't have food to eat.
Yeah, which is why we're trying to move towards sustainable sources of energy, like solar, like hydropower.
Compared to
electric,
But we don't have these things as natural resources. These things are technological resources.
Yes, and they are expensive.
And the poor man, the man in the
cannot afford, which is the problem actually. That's the problem. So we need to find a balance between, you're trying to transition from fossil fuels to sustainable energy, but it's expensive. So you need to balance that, and the country is in a very tough.
Need to balance things. Forget about it first. If you get food rich enough,
No,
I feel this is a dream like that. We don't even need to even be focusing on now. Something that we should focus on when we have enriched the poorest of the poor to a certain level.
Yeah. So you think like the West is tensioning us into moving they themselves did?
Yes, because they even emit much more than we do, and it's part of the reason for the ozone layer depleting as much as it is, and not us.
It's not us, it's them.
So why are we talking about climate change here in Nigeria? Because I feel we should, as much as possible, try and make fuel cheap to increase production massively, and we should keep burning the fossils to evaluate not like them.
But like even if they are the cause of the climate change, climate is a global thing, so it is going to affect you either way. So you might as well do something to like mitigate the effects. You know, they're like saying they
But
did
not by,
it,
but not by
it's also
introducing solar
affecting
and this that farmer that you mentioned earlier cannot do my fossil.
That's what I'm saying. So it should be upon the government now to find a way to make sustainable sources of energy available to people. You know, we have solar street lights now, some places in the country, right? So
But solar is not going to power the things that we are most essential to us, like our vehicles, like our.
it's Tesla you joke.
Jeez, do you know how much that is? So guys, this is a joke.
Well,
Don't this price of Tesla for $5,000 or so. That's for 5 million naira. That's more than your school fees plus the UN. I want you to do see the
I know. It's expensive, but
it's a dream. Just forget that. I don't buy all those things. They're just rubbish.
it's a dream. But we're getting there.
The electric cars in Nigeria.
There are, right? Yeah.
How many what population in Nigeria?
Over 200 million.
How many cars electric cars?
Maybe one.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
It's
but
provided
that's how
by
it
the
started in the
government.
West as well. You know, it started with one, of course.
Nigeria now, whenever you go to the university, you see that we're trying to move from a consumerist economy to a productive economy. We don't produce all these things. So this whole climate change rubbish is more of an opportunity for you to import Western
Ideologies, right?
no, not ideologies, but import Western equipment in a nation that cannot produce
That's
these
why we need to
things.
produce it by ourselves. You know, I see we have bright minds in this country. You see videos on WhatsApp where somebody has invented something that runs on water or something. Like, I see these things, but the government does not invest in them. You know, we see people creating cars that are powered by some bizarre substance that it's not going to like harm us as much as fuel is harming us.
I would love to know what the government told you guys about why they don't create a sustainable environment that help young talents thrive.
Actually, there are a couple of bills, and acts with regards to like trying to encourage youth into participation. These things are not always as white and black as they appear. There's like not too young to run bill, things like that. We have those, but I can't tell you why it's not translating into results, but they are there. It's implementation, I think. The laws are there, but they're not being implemented.
So you really felt proud. So far you talk like you really have good sympathy, like you cannot sympathize with these guys and see what they're going through and all that.
No, I'm not like sympathizing. It's just I now understand. We see them as a distinct entity. We see them as so far away from us, but they're actually just one of us. Like these people came from us.
Yeah, but it's the way they organize their lives and what they promote. Today you see that they signed 800 billion for SUVs because the rules are bad. And kind of things they say, does it look like people that are part of you?
They came from your community.
Yeah, but when you get to that position, you're now detached from reality. Because
you see them as detached from reality.
that's how they act, that's how they move, that's how they.
But like I have said, like it's not all of them that I feel like are there to serve their own interests. Some people genuinely want to make a change in the country, and you wouldn't know until you interact with them.
So now, would you like to contest someday?
No,
an office?
absolutely not.
No.
Because, like I always said, I don't think I'll ever go the politics route. I mean, it could change, but I don't think, as I am now, in this very moment in time, I don't think I can bear the test of contesting for an election and then,
Losing.
no, not losing. Even if I lose, it's a lot of work. You need to go back to your community. You need to be their people. You need to be their person. You have to be available to everybody. You're going to be a people's person, basically. You wouldn't have any time per se to yourself. Yes. As a politician, like you and your people, like this. So, like my private space, personal space.
Yeah, many politicians, they start with like a private space, so seeing all the benefits that you get from the politics and the money and the social status, and these are more enticing than a private space.
I think the price to pay is much. Like you have to pay a price if you're a politician, and I'm not willing to pay that price. So I'd much rather go into like diplomacy or something that I will get there, based on merits, not because people voted me, but like based on maybe like, oh, I'm competent in this. Let's have her come here and do this. So I like to be.
Voting is also merit. You
It
vote.
is,
You
it
vote
is,
for
it
a
is,
good.
but also like popularity, money, they're all factors. You have to be popular, you have to have money, connections, godfathers.
So the diplomacy. So what do you see yourself doing there? Trying to make the relations between the government and people much more.
No, relations between countries.
That's international relations, though.
That's what I studied.
Oh, you want to follow doing the part of what you. So, like now, your major lies in international comparative politics. You like what are you going to do your masters in?
Hopefully, diplomacy specifically.
Why did you choose diplomacy?
In the politics space, I think international relations, diplomacy, politics, governance, policy making, all those things like related to public sector leadership. I feel like diplomacy is where my interest is strongest.
What does diplomacy really entail? Like now recently we saw how ECOWAS and Niger had a clash because of the constant military coups happening in African countries. So what kind of role does diplomacy play there? What kind of role do you
I feel like in
play?
building long-lasting peace, you have to have good diplomatic ties with countries. It's not just internal factors; it's also how you relate, how the world sees you. So I studied peace and conflict. That was my concentration. So that is very tied to diplomacy, and I picked an interest there. That's why I'm going into diplomacy. That's why I want to go into diplomacy. Peace and conflict.
See this the war between Ukraine and Russia. You see Israel and Hamas. You see Iran and this one. And what kind of role the diplomats play there? Because now in this case, diplomacy has failed and it's still failing because this war isn't over yet. So, like, if you were to be a mediator, like, how would you because now Nigeria can have a conflict in their country now. What can you actually say or to make these things go, make them not to fight, to stop fighting? And then I will see, you guys, we're part of the post now. They've killed, they bombed 200 million Hamas kids.
That's the activist in me. That's the human in me. But like with diplomacy, you'd see a couple of countries have withdrawn their ambassadors, like because of the war, have withdrawn their diplomats from Israel and let me rephrase that. A couple of countries have expelled their own Israeli diplomats from their countries, because of that puts pressure. That is making Israel know that what they're doing is wrong. It's like a tool for.
So what countries have withdrawn their diplomats from
A
Israel?
couple of South American countries.
These ones don't have economic power.
But it's something that I think
Those are small boys now.
it's from the small boys that the big ones too.
I was watching the UN Security Council was made up, I think, Russia, America, Germany, there, UK,
France, and
basically all those top countries that are economically, militarily good, basically. So the other guys basically have no say because they're just backing dogs, that.
Either way, I would say the Security Council cannot really do much in terms of this war because the US, in as far as is on that council, nothing can ever happen. To always veto whatever resolution, decision the Security Council makes. So it's not even about just the tiny countries coming out and doing something. South Africa, for example, it's from there that other countries will come and be, you see some countries have come out to support their decision to take Israel to the ICJ.
So what? ICJ?
International
Criminal Court. ICC, you mean?
No, not international criminal. ICJ. UN's International Court of Justice.
Okay, yeah. I was watching Gaddafi's speech before the UN.
Are we equal in the permanent seats? No, we are not equals. And the preamble says that all nations are equal, whether they are small nations or whether they are big nations.
So many years ago, and he was talking about how the bulk of the African countries are just backing dogs. That none of what they say make any sense, or not like it doesn't make sense, but it makes no impact. Now, these African countries are the mercy of this big guy. The political structure is even like copied from them, and these guys benefit from us, and these guys support us monetarily, like they donate money and all that stuff. And then, how do you want to be biting the hand that's feeding you? Do you get where I'm coming from?
But they are doing it, South Africa.
With what? With what country?
With all the countries that are backing Israel, I feel like. Because you claim they are biting the hand that is feeding them, right? They're doing it and they are surviving. They're doing just fine.
But like, realistically, I've not really seen much countries that are really like African countries that are really like anti this whole thing, and they're voicing it out vocally. They're just on the sideline because
Okay, like Yemen too as well. They're a poor country, but they're also out here, they're leading the war as well. So I don't know. I think the world order is not so. It's not like as it used to be. Like you have to bow down to these powerful countries. We have some countries that are doing otherwise. They're doing well.
Well,
South Africa is doing well.
South Africa has always been doing well.
Have they always been doing well?
They were colonized by these white guys. What country was there? For me, the British. Germans were there too, and then gradually these guys left. But by the way, they still own the world today. So, are you seeing how this gets fishy?
Because the country comes from also great injustice, so they kind of know what injustice looks like. So I feel like that is why they are leading this conversation.
Okay, I think the last stuff you're talking about is good governance and accountability. So now we as the citizens, let's go back to this small grassroots. How are you able to be kept accountable when you're the student government president in the UN? Let's go from there.
Students had no issue coming to tell you that, this thing has not been done. What are you doing about it? That's keeping somebody accountable. You don't just keep quiet and accept the decisions. You have to ask questions and pressure and, hit where it hurts. So even if some things were, what would I say? Not secrets, but, it's not something that come out and discuss in the open. People still ask about it.
So now how do you translate that to how we, citizens in Nigeria, voice out the complaint and the reaction to all the politicians? Because, when students come meet you and say, Halima, my heater is bad, or this is my AC, you try to fight for it. But here, it doesn't happen that way.
Because citizens complain, but nothing happens, right? Because, I don't know, I think we have allowed it to continue like that. Normally, in democracy, if your government is not hearing you, you come out and protest. If you come out and protest, they come and shoot you. So it's kind of like, are we really a democracy anyway? So, that's up to you to decide if we're a democracy or not. But normally, I think we're also very, we accept bad behavior. We don't excuse bad behavior, we just allow it. It's like, what can we do? It's just the way things are, Nigerians don't demand accountability from their leaders, I would say.
Is that what you've learned from your experience, or you're just saying it because you feel that's it?
No, it's what I've seen. If you go into, for example, you go into a general hospital, you see the staff there are so rude, they will treat you anyhow, but then you just say, what can we do? Normally, we're supposed to complain, right?
I went to the immigration on today's what?
Saturday. That was on Wednesday. I went to renew my passport. So I got there. I saw Vanessa Hart and her mom, her sister. Yeah, it was so cool. So I got an appointment for 9 a.m. and I went there. I was like, this is my sleep. I want to renew my passport, and they told me payment not found. And so many other people too, like me, that came to renew the passport too had the same issue. And I now see why. They said the new system that was introduced by the Minister of Interior, they're still having issues making the system good. And basically, now, when I told the guy, then if your system was having issues, why was my appointment booked for this day 9 p.m. and I'm coming from so and so place and I have to come down, waste my time and come here and you're telling me I can't do capture because payment not found. They told us that they told me the least they can do is to write my name and take my name in the registry, and then they'll look into it. There are over 100 of us. Now I told them no, I'm not leaving this place today. If I'm going to fix this thing today. Now say that I should go to the class house. When I got there, she asked for Servicom. When I got there, Servicom told me they cannot do anything about it. That since Monday they've been having this issue that no one has been able to capture. That I should go back to people that sent me, and I went back to them. And this guy now told me, we're in Nigeria.
Exactly. See, you're meant to accept nonsense.
Oh my! And we just implemented this, and it's not working out yet. As gradually that we're going to get the system.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean that we are
in
Nigeria? Like, so even the guys that are controlling these offices are using these phrases and these tones. But do you wait? If you were in this, if you were in my situation, what would you have done?
I would find out if there is a way I can take the complaint up. Not just cause a scene, but also make sure that.
Okay, you cause a scene first.
No, not just cause a scene. I may not cause a scene, but I'll try to find out if there is a way I can escalate the issue. Have it looked at, not just come and para for the person and then go. Like, that doesn't solve anything. You need to lodge a complaint and then make sure that it follows the right channel. And that's even the problem. Even if you lodge a complaint now, people that are looking at it as well, they don't care. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, get as it be.
Well, so far, let's just round this up. Your experience with the Yar'Adua Foundation and I'm going for your internship for your master's, and you want to master in diplomacy. Good. How do you see the future unveiling? Like, what do you?
The future remains to be seen, but like I'm hopeful. I do want to come back to Nigeria and put what I've learned to good use.
Yeah. Not many people say this. Why are you particular about coming back to Nigeria to help?
Because the grass is greener where you water it.
Oh, I think that's a good place to end. Have a great time, Halima, and good luck in your endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Chop, chop.